You guys really have a canine neutering website?
Hey Trump fans, this is Scott Gerling, aka One Man Rock Band. The only American artist writing Trump tunes will be on Let's Talk About the Music, Wednesday, November 2nd at 8 p.m. Pacific Time to talk about the basket of deplorables and all those who oppose them. Bring your sense of humor and your biggest gun. Talk to you then.
Hi, this is Dave from Cajun Co. We're based in Newcastle upon Tyne in the United Kingdom, and you're listening to Let's Talk About the Music. Enjoy the show, enjoy the music, and let the world flow.
Let's talk about the music. I'm Shels, your host, and we got Spider in the area in Ohio, and I heard that thunder and lightning out there, Spider. That was pretty awesome.
It's definitely starting. We're going to get some storms tonight.
That was cool. I wasn't too sure if you're moving a desk or what. Like, we didn't even know. That's
No, you'd probably hear a lot more cursing from me if that happened. It might not be appropriate for on the air if I was trying to move something heavy.
Probably. Alrighty. And from Tacoma, Washington, our very first Tacoma musician ever so far. Hopefully you'll be like, people start coming in from Tacoma. From Sotaria. Yay, Sotaria! Yay! Alright, so we do have a question in the chat room. What is your favorite area of music, and what artist inspired you the most from that era?
Oh, that's hard. I would say probably the 70s. I absolutely love the 70s. More like the early 70s, though. Like early 70s, late 60s. But I would say the person who influenced like my sound the most of what I wanted was like Aretha Franklin and Etta James. They definitely like my heart and soul, and Janis Joplin. All these blues, soulful, lovely ladies helped shape my sound like tremendously and what I wanted to be in music too. So definitely.
That's pretty cool. So, which of these, each of those ladies, how do they inspire you? Just pick one. Just go down the line, and which one of them, which of those ladies inspire you the most? Let's go from there.
Ooh, the most. That is hard.
Yeah.
They all play their part. So I'm gonna do your first suggestion and kind of just go down the line.
Okay.
I absolutely love Aretha Franklin just because. I mean, heck, she's Aretha Franklin. Enough said. No, I'm kidding. She's so soulful, and she showed me how to move my voice and how I could use it as an instrument and to provoke so much emotion, So that's what I paid attention to her. It was more for her dynamics and how she moved her voice and why and where she placed it at. Etta James, she just has balls, man. She's amazing. Like, she has the guts to, like, she was the first soul singer that I feel like, female soul singer that, like, really brought, like, an edginess into her sound, because she has that real gritty rasp, and, oh, my gosh, that's just something you can chew on. It's so nice. And she wasn't afraid to do, most of her songs were about love, which, the 70s and the 60s, everything's about love and relationships, because that's that time period. But I feel like she kind of started to step out the box. And then with Janis, oh, man. Where do I start with Janis? She's just amazing. What I really love about her is that she did not give anything about what anybody said, and she didn't take nothing from nobody, and she was the first artist and singer that I was able to see and hear just give everything she ever had. Every ounce of her was left on that stage every time she performed. And that was like very inspiring to me, and that's how she helped shape me, like, and gave me the confidence, because this girl, she would not be singing in key a lot of the time. Like, she, but it was like, it was great though. Like, it was just great. And that's why I loved her, because it's like, she might not sing in key all the time or things like that, but she's just giving her all and leaving it all out there for everybody to see, and it's just inspiring. So that's how she's definitely affected my music and shaped my singing.
Pretty cool. So when you're singing on stage, now, does any of these ladies come out of you, out of your soul, and you come out of, you channel sometimes?
I think the person I channel the most is Aretha Franklin, because I still feel like I have a lot of growing to do in my stage presence, and also with who I let into my emotions, because I feel like I'm a good enough singer now to where if I choose to stray away and like get lost in the music, it will be fine. I'm not going to sing off key. I'm, like, everything's going to sound good. So it's just like, I'm all in my brain. So Aretha is like probably the one I channel the most, because she's like the safest, I guess, and it always sounds good,
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to channel, like, I have that Janice in me. Like, she's right there. She's about to jump out every time. And, I just stop myself. I really do. And I just got to break out of it. And that's definitely been one of the more challenging things for me for performing, like, I want to feel that. And I honestly can say that I've gotten very close, but I know I haven't felt the power of letting it all out on stage.
Oh, let it out, girl. Just let it out.
I know.
You can do it.
I know. I'm just in the way. I'm in the way of myself, dang it. So, I don't know. Something's got to give.
Yeah, you'll find it, and once you do, this world is going to explode. I mean, it's going to be a Sotaria atom bomb. I'm telling you. You got soul, girl. Spider, do you have anything to ask her?
To kind of go along that same kind of lines here, we talked about your favorite era of music and some of your biggest inspiration. If you had any advice for anybody out there who needed some inspiration for either their own music career or just anything that they're trying to do in life that maybe they feel like they're just never going to make it, what would you tell them?
It sounds silly and simple, but just do it. Just jump. And because there would be nothing, there wouldn't be anything worse than looking back on your life and saying, I could have done that, but I didn't, because it is so worth it. It's just worth it, because if it doesn't work out the way you thought it would or planned it would, boom, try another thing,
Mm-hmm.
Because if you start putting up all these stages before you even start, you're not going to get anywhere. And you're going to start cutting yourself off of, like, everyone thinks success is a straight line, when it's like, no, man, you're going backwards, forward, upside down, round and round, into a new dimension. You find your way back, It's like, it's very crazy. And so my biggest thing is, you know what, you just do it, because, and all the excuses, I feel like a lot of people try and say that, I'm too young, or I'm too old, or I don't, why do I deserve it? Why do you deserve it? Everyone deserves what they desire in their life, because as you're not hurting anybody or yourself, everyone deserves it, because you weren't put here to just, like, be in question and in the dark and unsure and sad or angry. And the only thing that sets you free is just by doing what you want. And it's not easy, but it's definitely worth it. So that's what I say. And as soon as you feel like you don't believe in yourself, you better stand firm, plant your feet in front of that mirror, and tell yourself that you are beautiful, you're strong, you deserve it, and you're going to make it. And say it until you believe it every single day. Keep going in front of that mirror and just telling yourself all the things. And even if you don't believe it, say it like you mean it, and one day you will. You'll convince yourself.
Mm-hmm. I totally
Good
agree.
solid advice. Good solid advice.
Uh-huh. Because believe it or not, the person I'm seeing, he told me when I was telling him about this podcast, he goes, well, just do it. And I was giving him stop giving me excuses and do it. Now that I'm doing it, he's giving me feedback on all this stuff. And I was like, okay, have you even listened to the show yet? No. Okay then. Shush. Until you do. But, you're doing it, because if you don't do what you want to do, you're always going to regret it. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, I shouldn't have did this, and all this stuff. And that's not living. That's just being entrappment of your own miserable life that you should have done it. Well, why didn't you do it? I got people in my life saying, oh, I wish I could do this. Well, then go do it. You got the materials. Go do it.
Mm-hmm. And I always tell people this because as soon as we get, especially a very ambitious goal in our mind, we immediately, because this is how the media has shaped our minds to think, is all the reasons why you can't do it. And what I tell everybody, I'm like, shut it down immediately and put a timer on for 15 minutes and come up with reasons why you can. And it's crazy, because it's like you don't even realize like how many reasons of why you can and why you should and how you're going to, and because our mind just is, once you take that barrier off of like pretend there's no obstacles, just they've disappeared. Just say what you want and believe what you want, and like it's achievable, and then you'll see all the reasons of why you can do something instead of you can't, because all those blockades are gone,
Right.
So.
Yeah, sure. I've had told this in a few of the episodes in the past, and I'll mention this again. I mean, I struggled with depression and anxiety attacks, and a friend of mine about 4 or 5 years ago gave me the best advice that you possibly could think of. It was down on my luck, in a rut, and he says, well, you can either stay a victim, victim in your mind, victim of what people are telling you, or you can change it, reinvent yourself. And so, of course, I went through these years trying to figure out, okay, how in the hell do I reinvent myself, because I did not like being where I was at. So I started doing things that I would never, ever do in my entire life, and enjoying every bit of it. And I'm realizing what I like and don't like and all that stuff. And so, so it's very overpowering once you start doing things you say you think you can never do in your life. For example, I would never in a million years think I can actually perform on stage, and I'm doing it.
Yep.
I didn't think in a million years I'd be back being a podcaster. Psh, this was done. I was done with this when I was in 25 years old. Yeah, I was done. I'm back. So, it is. Think positive. I know it sounds redundant, and just go for it. If you want to do it, do it. Stop giving yours excuses.
Yep. You just got to. And it's really scary. It's like you're free falling.
Oh, my God. It is very, very scary. It is. But yet, once you get through that scariness, it is the best rush of your entire life.
Yes, definitely. I mean, when, like how I mentioned earlier in the podcast, how I was in theater growing up, I quit theater because I was so scared to go on stage that I couldn't barely breathe. Like, my breath would be so staggered. I couldn't remember. I would forget my whole entire monologue. Like, I started failing in theater because I like had the worst stage fright, and at one time I had a panic attack, and now I'm